just to be able to afford a ring, we had to breed our dogs and sell the puppies.
Oh my goodness.
So I always joke that John and the dogs proposed to me because that was the only way he could afford a ring. Now tell me if there's a dumber fight than whether the mule was slipping or tripping.
Sounds like literally all of our fights.
It's so not a big deal. It's so stupid. We're creating core memories. And it's Christmas. And every year John comes to me and tells me about why I don't need more Christmas decorations or why I don't need to spend more money.
Would you marry him if he was an Auburn fan? And she was like, you know, I love him, maybe. And it like offended me and blew my mind that she said maybe.
Kids, it terrified me to my core.
Really?
Oh yes, I had never changed a diaper until our daughter was 2 weeks old.
Welcome back to the He's Wrong, She's Right podcast. I'm Andrew. All the way down there at the end is Nona. And joining us today are John and Lindsey Salter. So thanks for coming on, guys.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
It's nice to have famous people close because a lot of our guests have been virtual. You know, we're small time still. We can't afford to fly people in or anything. So to have you guys here in town, if nobody knows, John fought in Bellator and UFC as well, right?
That's right. Oh.
So it's nice to have really cool people in town that we can invite over and do this.
I'm not gonna lie, I just got excited because I thought you were referring to me as a famous person. We're not talking about you, honey.
Both of you, right?
Boy,
I mean,
It's family fame.
I mean, there's no him without me, so you know.
There you go.
There you go.
You guys are
Behind every great man is a woman screaming for attention.
Well, thanks for coming on. I guess we'll jump right into it. I know Nona really likes to hit people with the family questions.
Hit people? That was
Well,
like an opportunist word.
That was perfect, actually. My brain, it does a miraculous thing sometimes.
You're just naturally punny?
Yes.
Okay.
But she likes to bring out the family questions. She likes to ask that stuff. And usually we drag that out to the end. But I'm going to give her the opportunity to start with that because
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I was going to close us out with a cute little game, but I guess I'll open us with a cute little game. And so how this game plays is just a couple questions for you guys. And you just have to shout out your answer at the same time. It's kind of relationship based.
Is this going to be a how well do you know each other
Yes.
kind of thing? Oh, gosh.
Yes. That's how I was going to close it out.
Try
I
to
didn't
get
know he
inside
was
my
going to
brain.
do this right now.
excitement right off the bat. It can only get worse after this.
All right. Are you guys ready?
I think so.
I'm ready.
Again, you have to say your answers at the same time.
All right.
All
What do we
right.
count off?
Who is more romantic?
Oh, me.
I love to scoff with that.
Sorry, I didn't even wait for you to apply. I just immediately reacted.
Answer.
I mean,
Do you think you're romantic?
No, definitely you.
How have you romanced me lately? Let's give an example.
Yes, please.
I mean, you're still here. It's pretty good, right?
That's terrible.
How long have
that's
you
my
guys
kinda
been
answer.
together?
How long have we been together? I always have to ask you.
See?
That
She thinks she's romantic.
No,
She doesn't even
not
know.
knowing the time has nothing to do with the amount of love. Again,
All right. We've been together a little over 15 years. How long have we
Okay.
been married?
well, if we've been together 15, that means we've been. Did we just have our 13-year wedding anniversary?
It's rough, isn't it?
Oh my gosh.
12 years. 12 and a half. Well, we're getting close to 13. 6 months.
You know what? Again, as the romantic one, when you have a love like ours, time just flies by and you can't keep
See,
track.
I'm so romantic, I put it in my family calendar.
There's our mess.
Oh my gosh. Well, that leads me to the next
Okay.
question. Who brought up marriage first?
Oof, that's a good question. Well, we got to answer at the same time.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know.
You need a countdown?
Well, I would guess you.
Probably.
I would guess you. But
We
I
didn't say it at
have.
the same time. Really good job at this. you answered both of them by yourself. You're doing great.
Well, but I will say we have both said and felt from very early on when we first met, like we were getting married.
Yeah.
It was we went 0 to 60 in our relationship.
Okay.
We moved very fast.
if we had more than $2 to put together, we would have gotten
Yeah,
married a
we
lot
were
earlier.
also really, really poor. So we couldn't. In fact, just to be able
Broke.
just to be able to afford a ring, we had to breed our dogs and sell the puppies.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I know.
goodness.
So I always joke that John and the dogs proposed to me because that was the only way he could afford a ring.
I had to sell a house to buy a ring suitable for her. So, I mean,
Rude that you threw in the suitable.
Okay,
Well,
that's good,
yeah.
but I do think the puppies is a smidge sweeter.
No,
You
that is
just
much
probably
better.
got more for selling that house than we did
Much
selling
more than
dogs.
selling dogs.
I don't know. I didn't have the nicest house.
I don't know. AKC, it's AKC, right?
Yes, so they were very well bred labs.
Okay.
So that was a good thing. We did. I mean, this was years ago. We got several $100s per dog,
Yeah.
right? Like, so we got a couple grand out of the litter. Yeah.
How many puppies to the litter?
The first one, so we bred ours 3 times, and she did 7 on her first litter, and then 9 and 9 after that.
And you probably sold them for like $800 each?
I think then we were doing like
500.
500 on the first one.
Okay.
The first
This
litter,
was
and then we
15
went up-
or 13 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a little over 13 years now.
And the crazy thing is, we were living in Nashville at the time.
Okay.
Living in a tiny townhouse that did at least have a walk-in closet. And so we literally had to pull all the shoes, everything out of the closet, line it with like puppy pads. She gave
we had a
birth
layer
in my
like
closet.
that thick
Yeah.
of puppy pads so that it wouldn't destroy the carpet in there.
Right.
And we bred her there. And my dad was wanting to get another dog. He's always been a big lab person. So I was like, if we give you a dog after they're born, can we bring them to you and you keep them alive until we sell them? And he was like, yeah, sure. So my dad actually raised them. We took them down there to him.
I
Alabama.
gave birth in my closet.
That's...
Terrifying, I know.
Yes. Were you
Would you-
renting at the time?
No, I owned it. I owned it.
Okay, phew. You didn't have
And-
to like get it approved by the landlord and all of that. Okay,
but
so
still, I mean, your clothes are in there. It's your
Right.
closet, and
My favorite thing about the first litter we did, so our male was my dog.
Okay.
He went on our first date with us. And then
That's how
I
John got a second date.
The male is actually our logo.
Okay.
And the female I bought for Lindsay for a graduation gift. So it's her dog, and I mean, it was our dog, but it was hers that she thought of that way. So we knew she was showing all the signs she's going to go into labor tonight. So Lindsay slept in the closet with her
On the floor.
so that she would be ready when she went into labor. And when Penny was ready to go into labor, she got up, jumped on the bed, and woke me up, and then took me back in the closet with her. And I was like, okay, Lindsay, you can go to sleep.
yeah,
now."
still in the ground.
Yeah, so all that, slept all night there, and then Penny
Every
came to
litter
get
Penny
me,
had, I slept on the ground with her that
and then
night.
she would come and get me.
So
Yeah.
fast forward 10 years, you guys have a daughter together. Is that a similar birth story to your daughter as well?
We'll
Wake
get-
you up when it's labor
Well-
time?
You once we get through this game, you will want to ask us the child and all those
Okay.
questions because we're crazy. Those are fun stories.
Okay.
those are fun ones.
Okay. All right. Who said I love you first?
You did.
One.
Oh, sorry.
Horrible at this. I was like, I'm gonna get her an answer. I'll see if she
Did I
remembers.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, John.
You did? And then what was your response? Thank you, or I love you too?
No, it's been in love with you since the day I met you, please. Like, oh yeah.
Andrew said I love you first also.
Aw.
I almost said
That's
thank
pretty
you.
I feel like that's pretty traditional. Like the man asks you to marry him. The man usually says, I love you first. Like the man asks you out on the first date.
Right.
Like I actually like those traditional gender roles, if you will. Because yeah. Makes it a lot easier on
Really
me.
good at waiting on the.
I know.
once you together.
I get excited. Okay.
Who is more messy?
Let's count to 3 because this is an easy one.
All right. One.
1, 2, 3. John.
Definitely me. That's not even a question.
He's disgusting.
If I could
Thank
really.
you. Oh my
get
gosh,
her
I feel like
fired
every
up.
man is disgusting.
Oh, they're so dirty. All right. Did you ever see the episode of Friends where Monica is like really upset that Rachel's moving out and she starts crying? She's like, now I have to live with the boy.
Yes.
Like it's so true.
It's so true.
I get it. Living with the boy, like, ew.
It's so gross. It's so
But
gross.
What's funny is my dad is like one of the cleanest men on the planet. So I was raised by a very clean man.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I married a very messy man. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's tough.
All right, last question. Who is the first to apologize?
Say it depends.
Yeah, well, okay, now look.
Every situation is
Yeah.
different.
I'm trying to think of the last fight we had and how stupid it was. And I think you said sorry first. The one about are the mules,
Oh yeah.
are they tripping or slipping?
Yeah.
We had the dumbest fight. What was this?
It was about the mules.
No,
tripping.
but a while ago. Like how long ago? Was
I
it?
don't know. It was probably 3 or 4 months ago.
Okay, so I don't know if y'all are like this, but do you ever, it's like, we just haven't really had a good fight in a long time.
Okay.
And it's almost like you just need something stupid to fight about just because it's just been blissful for too long. And we have 2 mules and a horse, and we're getting ready for Mule Days. So if you don't know what Mule Days is, it's the most fun redneck hootenanny of your life.
I've never heard of this.
Okay, it's a blast. So I grew up showing horses. Never really knew anything about this whole other mule world.
Okay.
But it's in Benson, North Carolina. We love it. It is arguably one of our favorite events of the year now. We take a group of friends, but everybody in this kind of region of the country brings their mules, which, if you don't know what a mule is, it's a cross between a horse and a donkey.
Right.
And you have barrel races, and you do Texas barrels and jump contests.
And this is town-wide.
Oh, it takes over the town of Benson. Like, it's huge.
Okay.
And there's thousands of people go, and there's probably, what do you think, baby? There's probably only like 30, well, maybe 40 or 50 mules that compete.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, think of all the competitions you do in a rodeo and take all the seriousness out of it, and then everybody does it with their mules.
Yes.
And so
Is there a lot of drinking involved?
A lot of spectators, I think, do. We're so serious competitors that, you know.
Wow.
But,
Okay.
the thing that makes it really fun, like mules are way more athletic than they look, and they can do a lot more than a horse. But the thing that's so funny is mules are really smart, and sometimes they just decide, I'm not doing it. Where a horse, you can make them do anything. So you'll see, you might have, a super fast mule that's really good at barrels, and they'll just go out there and like, I'm not running barrels.
One of our mules did that this year.
Yeah.
She's actually faster than our main mule that we compete on. And she walked out there and she just stopped and was like, no. And you could do whatever you want. You're not going to get her to get, if they decide they don't want to do something, they just don't do it.
Right. The phrase is stubborn as a mule.
Mule. So,
And it's because they're smart enough to understand that, like, I'm just not going to do it. Where a horse can't understand that.
yeah, a horse is, you could ride one off the side of a cliff and they
Wow.
just, okay, I'll follow you.
They're
up this-
loyal.
Well, no, they're just not very smart. They can be loyal, and I love
Okay.
horses, but it's more of an intelligence thing.
Okay.
A mule won't knowingly put itself in danger.
Gotcha.
So anyway, long story short, we're practicing because you got to prep for Mule Days.
Okay.
And so out at our friend Matt's farm is where they're at right now.
Okay.
And we're setting up the barrels, and the mules are running. I have mine, air quote, mine is the horse.
Okay.
So I'm kind of off to the side messing with Crab. We will put him around the barrels, but he's 21 years old and he's a Tennessee walking horse. It's not really his jam.
Gotcha.
And Matt and John are on the mules, and they kept tripping over.
Both of them kept tripping in the
Yeah.
same exact spot.
Yeah.
And there was nothing to trip over. And then finally, the bigger mule, the faster one, she tripped, completely fell, broke her saddle, and my buddy went flying over her head, and everybody was okay. And I'm like, there's something majorly wrong here. They keep tripping the exact same way. And what they were doing is they were like sticking their foot in the ground.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, so
They're just being
Lindsay's-
lazy. They just
Oh,
don't wanna do
okay.
it.
Yeah,
They're known
Lindsay's
for that too.
really good friends with our vet. So I'm like, you need to call Lindsay, and we need to find out, like, do we think there's a problem with their trimming of their feet? Like, what's causing this for them to trip? And she kept going, okay, I'll they're slipping. And like, I kept saying tripping.
Hold on, but you were riding one of them, and I watched, and she happened to slip.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
And
That
she
was
did
just
slip
a-
one time.
a-
Yeah, so we're
fluke.
we're standing over there, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll tell if they're slipping. She goes, they're not slipping, they're tripping. Whatever. So then we get back and we're untacking him, and she does always rest this one foot, but I made a comment. I was like, gosh, she keeps slipping, and now she's resting that foot. And John just got mad
Well,
at
I
me.
told you like 10 times that they
It
were
did- anyway,
tripping. And my whole thing was, I was like, you got to call Lindsay and tell them they're tripping. And she kept saying slipping. Like, you can't say that to Lindsay because she's not going to understand
It
what
doesn't
happened.
matter if it's a trip or a
Yeah.
slip. And like, so we're sitting there and we're like untacking the mules, like ripping the saddles off and just fighting over slipping versus tripping. Now tell me if there's a dumber fight than whether the mule was slipping or tripping.
Sounds like literally all of our fights.
It's so not a big deal. It's so stupid, but we are just mad. John's threatening to never ride again. And I'm like, well, fine. If you're never going to ride again, then we might as well just sell the boat too. You don't get your hobby. I don't get, my, blah, blah. Like, it's the dumbest fight in the world. And this goes on all night, right? And then into the next day. And what I think finally at like after lunchtime when you came home from training, you walked in, because I was like, I am not going to give in first. I even called my sister and I was like laughing. I was like, you're not going to believe what we're fighting over right now. And she was like, what? I tell her, she goes, that's the dumbest fight I've ever heard of. And I was like, oh, it is. Like, we're literally laughing about how stupid this fight is. And I was like, I'm not giving in. I'm going to make him apologize first and admit he was wrong. And he did come back and he was like, okay, let's talk about how stupid this is.
You left it all on the mat.
Yeah. But that was our last fight, and you apologized first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
So
All
I
right,
won.
so moral of the story, go to the gym more. Leave it on the gym floor. Then come home and apologize.
Okay.
That's the moral of the story.
But I just was sitting there laughing to my sister. I was like, he, like, listen how stupid this fight is. I'm not going to give it, you know? And she was like, you both may have too much time on your hands.
So our big problem with the horses and the mules are I spend more time with the mules. She spends more time with the horses.
Okay.
But Lindsey also, since she grew up with horses, wants to tell everybody how, you know, you can be you forget that other people can handle them too. So I always end up thinking I know more about the mules, which probably isn't true. And then she always ends up thinking I don't know anything about them. So if we get in a fight about the horses, it's always something really dumb.
Yes, it is. It's very stupid fights.
It's about how it always goes.
Yeah. Sounds like married life.
Yeah.
We argued about why I needed to buy an extension cord for the Christmas lights outside the other day.
Ooh.
And I said that was a waste of money and that you could just connect all the Christmas lights together.
So I had to go out and demonstrate for her why, because I went out there and I did a dry run. I had to, because we're renting this house. We've never decorated this house like we're going to this year. And so I went out there and I looked at what she gave me. And I was like, this isn't going to work unless I go and get extension cords. I have a couple, but I didn't have enough to do what needs to be done. It's just those pillars out there on the front porch. And so I bought it. It's like a custom one, which is kind of cool. What it is one long extension cord, and then it has offshoots every couple of feet or so. So when you do something like that, you only run one cable.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And it was cheaper than buying a bunch of extension cords, but it's only a one-use product. Like, what else are you going to use that for?
Yeah.
And so I had to demonstrate to her because I just had to. I had to show her. I'm like, I need to be justified as to why I bought this thing. And it wasn't even really a fight.
Did you win?
No.
Oh, he didn't?
No.
He bought it anyways. I think it's a waste of money, but whatever. It's fine. I let it go.
No, I feel really strongly about, I'm on your side on this one.
If it's a potential to spend money on Christmas decorations, Lindsey's on your side.
Well, here's the thing. Every year I fight the battle of I need more budget for Christmas to decorate because I feel like it's a very important time. We're creating core memories. And it's Christmas. And every year John comes to me and tells me about why I don't need more Christmas decorations or why I don't need to spend more money.
I think we add a little bit every year.
And it's cute that you say that because it never happens.
See, we really messed up. We have neighbors that have way deeper pockets than us.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And Lindsey, every year,
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Yes.
our very fantastic neighbors that we love, add a new thing for Christmas. Lindsey's like, oh, I'm going to catch up with Colleen because hers looks so good. And then Colleen's like, well, I'll show you. And then destroys us in the next year.
Are they also retired by chance?
They're
No,
not,
no.
but she works from home some, so she's able to
Okay.
do it. And she does a really good job. And Lindsey's like, I can't lose, even though we're really good friends. So we're not in a battle with them.
like we're
Full on competition.
well,
Wow.
but it's competition. We're cheering ourselves on.
Right.
Like, oh, you're gonna go get more. Oh my gosh, I will too. Let's do it together. You know.
But so I'm down for more Christmas
Yes.
decorations instead of an extension cord because you can still connect all the lights and wrap them everything. I would rather have more ornaments and more,
But we did
you
get
know.
a new tree this year.
It looks fantastic.
it looks good.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you got
it's a
a tall
beautiful
tree,
tree.
too. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm a traditional, so I grew up in India. I actually grew up right outside South Bend, which sounds like
Okay.
that's who Alabama's going to play is Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But we would always go to a Christmas tree farm and we would pick
Love
and
that.
cut down the tree every single year. And down here, there's not anywhere to do that. They bust them in from other places. You can go to the park or wherever you can buy them.
Yeah.
But it's not really the same thing. Like if I wanted to go to Lowe's to buy a real Christmas tree, you could go to any store. It's the whole experience is going there, getting the saw, cutting it, dragging it up to have them shake it, put it in a little wrap. You just go to these little parks, which I mean, if you're from an area like I am, and that's the only way that you can get access to a real tree, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But we started doing the math, especially last year after the one that we bought for here. And you go like 3 years with a real tree and you've bought.
You bought, a really nice tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Yeah.
Now,
So
how expensive they are now.
I finally bit the bullet because
that was the only thing
daughter-
that she asked for Christmas was the 9-foot fake Christmas tree from
Really?
Costco.
You didn't have a
That's
choice.
all she
Yeah,
asked for Christmas.
Oh, yeah, you had to.
And he was like, okay, you're my favorite.
See, I'm a believer in multiple Christmas trees. So I think every room should have its own tree. I'm telling you, I may be your nightmare.
Yeah, I think so a
Yeah,
little
I'm
bit.
probably-
Only because I don't like clutter. It's not because I don't think it's beautiful. It's just, that's a lot for me.
If it doesn't look
can't
like
walk on it.
Santa and Southern living threw up in my house, I haven't done my job. And so I want every room to have its own tree. And I don't like clutter either. Like it drives me bonkers when there's a lot of stuff out. But Christmas, holidays
Is your
are
only
the
exception.
Yeah. Halloween too. Like I hit my stride. Mule Days kicks off holiday season. It's the end of September.
Okay.
I come back from Mule Days. Halloween goes up.
Okay.
Halloween comes down, Christmas goes up, right? Like that's my.
But then when do you take it down?
Oh, as soon as like right before New Year's. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't let it go. I don't let it go. So that's the time for clutter, but it's themed clutter.
Gotcha.
I live for a theme.
Okay.
So
I've shown her you guys' family pictures from like the last couple holidays.
we're doing a new
And
one this year.
the look on her face when she's like, "Oh my god, I want that." That's so because you guys have like the backdrop, you've got the animals, all the and everything's behaved. I mean, I've seen the outtake pictures that you guys have
Oh
posted.
yeah,
but
but the chickens was great. Yeah.
But for the most part, you got the dogs laying there; they're all posing. You've got your daughter posing. You've got the horses, mules, which are and then you guys, everybody's posing. It's like the textbook, like Hallmark picture. It's something. I shit you not. I bet you if you guys sold those pictures to those stock photo companies to just put in a frame that they sell, they would go like crazy because they're so perfect.
Don't get me excited
Yeah.
and tip me.
Meanwhile, if you look around, there's not a single picture of he and I together.
Actually, I was just noticing like they're stunning, but it's you and the kids.
These were all taken before we got together, and we've never.
He has never once posed for a picture with me.
We've taken pictures with our phones.
Yeah, like
and
selfies.
Yeah.
That's it, but not anything real.
galas for nonprofits and stuff where they've come around like candidly taking pictures, and
Yeah.
it's not that I don't want to. It's just that I'm out
No,
of
it's
shape.
100% that you don't want to.
Well,
I have asked
I don't-
every single year.
I don't like taking my picture either. I just like the Christmas card picture that we do. That's
They're-
really my favorite.
They're really good. I know that that's like her. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's like her dream. She wants family photos, but the other pushback is none of the kids ever want to take pictures.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Once,
See, our daughter's 3, so she thinks she gets excited to say. Oh, thank you. She gets. I was doing. Yeah. She gets excited to say cheese and all that. But
It's
she'll-
still a really cute age.
This year's going to be interesting, though, because we're putting our problem mule in there. And we've never done a picture or anything with her. She's actually very good, but she is the
She's not used to
She
these
is
kind
the
of
handle
environments.
compared to the other two.
Yeah.
We've never done it, so it's going to be interesting.
Well, she was in
Adding-
Iran last year. We every year.
The only one we had
I
a
try to add
chance
more
to do
animals.
was that little Ogden thing, and then we were like, she's going to be too much. So this year could be interesting.
And when are you doing that? It's already December.
We're doing
Sunday.
Okay.
We I may see if we can move it up now that I'm not leaving. I was supposed to go out of town tomorrow and Friday for work, but I'm not having to anymore. So
What do you do for work?
So I work for a company called Ormco. So we make braces and clear liners.
Oh, okay.
So right now I'm the regional manager for the Southeast.
Wow. I had no idea. He did not tell me anything
Yeah,
other than
yeah.
you
I've
were
never-
the wife of.
I've never known. I run into her at the gym. I run into him at the gym periodically. Actually, the last time you guys saw me was the last time I was
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually I'm starting I just took a promotion. I'm starting a new role of national accounts manager that'll start in January. So,
Congratulations. That's
thanks.
amazing.
Yeah. It may not, he rearranges teeth and I put them back together.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Perfect. It's a match made in heaven.
We're doing it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, the last time I went to PCSP specifically, I do go to the gym right up the road here. I took the oldest with me, and we were warming up for leg day, and we were just doing like football drills, karaoke, high knees, and stuff. and I was on the turf doing karaoke. And when I went to stop, my foot caught awkwardly or something.
Oh, man.
And I tripped and bounced my head off the ground, ejected my earbuds out of my ears.
Oh, man.
I texted Jeremy and I was like, hey, when you get a chance, look, it was like 10 a.m. or 10:15 or something like that. I was like, check the security cameras inside the gym at about 10:15 and send me the clip if you could. And sure enough, you don't really see much. It's like the camera that's far back, like on the building part where the offices are. And you just see me come flying. And I mean, it looked faster than I thought it was moving. I don't think I normally move that fast. Maybe something wrong with the camera. But I come through the frame, past the wall, and just hit the ground. He's like, maybe take it a little bit slower next time you're getting up there in age. I'm like, yeah.
We used it as our opening clip.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So
It's always when you're finishing up. You're like, I can relax now, and then some bad things happen.
Speaking of clips from that gym specifically, where and how is it Tucker that's in those videos?
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting tossed all the time?
Yeah.
How did that start? She hasn't seen this. I'll show it to you. It's hilarious.
You've never seen the screen videos? Oh, those are good.
So we used to finish up practice, and there was maybe 10, 15 of us kind of hang out a little bit and talk. And we just one day started goofing off. Let's Tucker's always a goofball, I don't know how well you know him, but he's always a goofball.
A little bit.
And so he would do funny things. We filmed a couple one day, maybe semi-funny, but not great. And then one day I was like, you know what would be kind of funny? It's let's just shoot a video. And this is all for our entertainment. This wasn't for anything else. Let's shoot a video of me talking about how safe jiu-jitsu is and how it's good for new people. And then Corey, you throwing. You guys figure out what you want to do. And so Corey suplexes him in the background, then drags him out, and Tucker screams. And it's that's kind of funny. So we posted it, and didn't really pay attention to it. And Sunday, I had a ton of I'm very bad at not getting on social media for days and stuff. And I get on, there's a bunch of notifications, and there's a ton of views and stuff. I was like, oh, people like that. So then I was like, we can do other ones. So we did a ton of them, and what would work every time is I would come up with an idea. I'm like, this will be funny. And then I would tell Corey, and Corey would be like, okay, I think I can do it. We'll see. And I would tell Tucker, he's like, I'm absolutely not doing it. And so then it would take me about a month to convince Tucker to do it. And then we get out and do it, and people would love it. So people was like,
What does kind of hurt Tucker when he gets launched?
Yeah.
When Corey hits him, at that kind of speed and with that kind it's not fun.
These are, to be clear, and with your permission, I'd like to post one of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're here at Salty Dog Jiu-Jitsu. I'm Coach Salter. We're working on our takedowns. As you see here, Lindsey's a smaller opponent. And when she shoots her double leg, as long as she runs her feet, it doesn't matter how big and strong he is, she's able to drive through it. So she's able to control the bigger opponent, and that's what we're working on today.
So he's giving a very serious lesson. He's giving a class online is what it sounds like.
Okay.
This is what you do for safety, and here's the gear that we use, something along those lines. And then in the background behind him, they'll be standing there doing something, and then all of a sudden he'll start screaming and pick him up and throw him across the room.
Oh, poor guy.
Whatever I'm saying, okay, if you do it this way, there's no answer for it. And then he's trying to do it, and then Corey would slam him real hard. And he was screaming. He's got the best scream.
Yeah.
And,
Oh my goodness.
and
To be known for your scream.
yeah. Have you ever heard, do you know what the Wilhelm scream is? Mm-mm. It's a scream they recorded in the 20s or 30s. But in movies, it's always the funny, somebody scared scream in the background.
Okay.
They use. And I didn't know what it was when we started doing this, but when we started posting them, everybody would always say, this is the new Wilhelm scream.
Oh,
so
my
I looked it up,
goodness.
but he sounds just like it. People would say, why don't you do more videos? I'm like, you don't understand. I got to come up with an idea, and then it takes me at least a month to get him to go out there and do it. And
but then he loves the recognition.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. If you'll notice, so several of these have gone viral. Freddie Prinze Jr.'s reposted it.
Really?
Ludacris. What's the comedian? Hispanic guy, older guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's so
Lopez.
funny. George Lopez has reposted all these people, and obviously the jiu-jitsu community. And whenever they repost it, you always see Tucker reply, "I'm the scream." And people will ask who's the scream or whatever. So he's gotten some pretty big recognition for being the scream.
Well, what's
funny.
so funny is everybody wants to know what the scream is, But I get stopped, especially used to when we put them out, like we do 2 or 3 a year, is every time somebody would stop me, I was usually with Corey who throws him, and they would always want to talk about the videos. Like, oh, this guy throws him. Nobody ever cares. They're like, well, what about the guy that screams?
Yeah.
And so
No, the best though is we're in the airport. I don't remember where we're going, but this one guy
2 times in one airport.
Yes, and he comes up like, oh, John Salter, man, I'm such a fan. I'm just such a fan. And John's like, oh, thank you. You know, we're both thinking about his fighting career. And
Right.
then finally go, those videos. I'm just such a fan. I'm just trying not to start rolling laughing.
That's
and
so
John's
funny.
like, it doesn't matter how many times I fight on TV or what I accomplish. Always going to be the videos.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I was out in Boise, Idaho, and Roger Huerta, who most people now probably don't know who he is, but he was the Conor McGregor back in the day. He was the first fighter to ever be on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Oh, wow.
And I was fighting up there, and it was during Hurricane Florence, so they had to send us out like 2 weeks early. So
Okay.
we were in Boise forever. And I'm working out at a gym, and Roger Huerta walks up. He was like, John Salter? And I was like, yeah. I mean, when I was in college wrestling, I was watching Roger Huerta because that was when he was the biggest thing in MMA. And I knew exactly who he was. I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm a big fan. I'm like, holy cow. Like, Roger Huerta. I was like, watch me fight. So I watched him fight forever. And he was like, I just love your videos. I wanted to throw everything. But the worst part about it all that's given her such a hard time, the video that we did that went the most viral, Lindsey's in.
Yep.
And so
Finally-
she's wrestling my buddy who's
Okay.
like 280 pounds. And
Okay.
I'm like, talking about if you keep your hips down, you run your feet, it doesn't matter how big your opponent is, blah, blah. And then Tucker tries to shoot on Corey, drive through him. Corey throws him. He goes flying out of the screen. So that one goes like 20 million views in like
On
pretty
ridiculousness,
fast.
yeah.
And then somebody takes it and crops it to where you can't see Lindsey. You can only see her from the waist down, and then she runs out of the screen. That one gets like 100 million views, and Ridiculousness picks it up.
Yep.
So Ridiculousness plays it, and she's cropped out of it.
Yeah. It's true. I know.
Did you cry inside a little?
A little bit, because I thought it was finally my shining moment, you know? And I mean, you can't see my face in it anyway.
Right.
But still, I know it's me.
I mean,
And
I'm not going to lie. There's been times when I've seen it shared within even like veteran communities and
Yeah.
stuff that I know that you guys probably aren't just hanging around in Facebook and Twitter groups and things like that. And they're like, have you guys seen this funny video? I'm like, I know them. I go to their gym. I've been to their house for New Year's. I know them.
well, I feel like Tucker, you know, when Tucker's like, I'm the scream, I'm like, I'm the butt. all you literally see is me
Now you're
shoot,
just
and
the
it's
butt
like
of the
my butt.
joke.
Yeah, and my butt. I'm like, that's my butt. That's me, you know? And would it have been too much for some pervert out there to comment, man, that girl's going, you know, like, look at that. Like, would that have killed somebody to give me that boost of confidence? But no, all they wanted to talk about was Tucker getting launched in the screen.
So if you guys are out there, post something really creepy about her butt in the video. She'll feel better.
Because it's John Salter MMA is the Instagram, right?
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
We want your wife's butt. It's just going to be like a chant now in
Like
the background.
justification, hashtag justification for Lindsey's butt.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So I've seen who did this? Somebody I know. Oh, I know it was Eric Totel. Somebody did it. They got the pants, the like, what are they, rash guard pants or whatever?
Leggings.
Yeah. And it's his face, like just various profile pictures, and it's just all over. So like one butt cheek is one face, his leg, that's what you need.
So
it's-
you're
yeah.
saying to
Yeah.
do her face all over her
Yeah,
pants?
yeah.
Oh my
Tell
God.
people know who you are.
Yeah. So if it gets cropped out, her face is still in there.
So,
That's not a bad idea. Well, the problem is we don't do the videos anymore.
so
When did you stop
I'm
them?
trying to bring them back. So
Okay.
Yeah.
we had a couple issues. Love Tucker. Tucker, if you hear this is out of love. He's put on some weight, and he doesn't throw the same way. And Corey has had back surgery. He can't throw the same way. But I have.
We did not cause the need of the back. We need to clarify
Yeah,
that.
this was not from throwing
Not
Tucker.
from
or being
throwing
overweight.
Tucker. Yeah.
But we have a member at the gym now that I think will be great for another video. And he's just kind of unique. Great wrestler, pretty good jiu-jitsu guy. 6'5",
Oh, yeah.
550, and moves like a cat. And actually,
550 pounds.
I should preface that he is now down to 497. So Jeremy, I'm
Yes.
sorry. But he's a big man, and so I think he'd be great for doing videos with Tucker. It's really hard to get Tucker on board with this, and I think Jeremy will do a good job not landing on him too hard. So, if anybody wants to message Tucker Guy and say, "Hey, get in there with Jeremy and do some more videos," I'm working on it.
Yeah. What happened with there was a younger kid, I don't know his name. I had only ever seen him once or twice, and you guys were doing something with shin pads with him.
Okay,
Oh,
that was a big one. So testing with Timmy.
Yeah.
It was going to be a whole new series.
Yeah.
Timmy is the guy that I double legged in my justification scene.
So Timmy was going. We did a video where we test out 2 different shin pads, and you might think like, oh, we're testing to see how it feels, like checking kicks or something like that. But Corey kicked Timmy in the body as hard as he could with each shin pad, and then we'd see which one protected Corey's shin more. And it's a great video. Really enjoyed it. Obviously, I mean, he gets kicked hard, so that sucks. But obviously, like, the dialogue is joking around.
Yeah.
And, like, I love Timmy. Timmy's a good friend of ours. Still, he does stuff with us all the time. Like at one point, he's low on the ground going, I can't breathe. And I'm like, all right, Timmy, get up. We got to test the other one. Clearly, it's joking. Timmy's mom and stepdad saw it. They did not take it that way. And I got threatened to be sued. She was very upset about it. Lots of messages. And so we decided testing with Timmy may not be the best route for the future of our gym.
Yeah.
How old was he at the time?
22.
22.
And his mom was stepping in for the 22.
So that's the good thing. And Timmy did step up and say, Mom, I agreed to this. Like,
okay.
Timmy.
It's not like he was 16.
Right.
Okay,
No,
that's when you were starting to tell the story, I was God, is he underage? And
No, Timmy, it was all adult.
Oh my goodness. 22 and mommy still. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Mommy
Timmy
dearest.
did come and say, I'm really sorry about my, so.
Yeah, I don't get on Instagram basically ever anymore. And I grabbed some of the links. I sent her one of the most recent videos of that you posted, and then one of the family photos, but she said that she hasn't looked at it yet. So
No, I haven't.
but I'm like never on there. And periodically I'm like, man, I never see some of this content. I'm like, oh yeah, it's because I don't get on the app where they post that stuff anymore. That makes sense.
But John's bad at social media too.
Yeah.
Especially since he's retired and now like Bellator's not sitting there like,
Yeah,
hey,
Bellator's on me all the time to post
Yeah.
and like the hours of the day to post and all kinds of stuff. And as soon as I stopped fighting, like, I'm so sick of posting on Instagram. So
Which one did you like more, Bellator or UFC?
So that's kind of a long answer. So when I was in the UFC, it was very much, you're lucky to be here. You'll do what we tell you to do. Like even like doing the interviews, like this stuff as small as this. Like, so you ask me that question, I go to give you an answer, and the guy who ran the interview, like, okay, now do that, but I want it better, and like stuff like that. Everything was that way.
Gotcha.
And it was very much like, this is just a kind of everything's so hostile. Whatever, not really a big deal, but it was just annoying. And then when I ended up in Bellator, everybody was great. They're trying to take care of you for everything. While still, like, you are a professional athlete, you are lucky to be there. Like, they still treat you like they're happy you're there.
Gotcha.
And so I fought in Bellator for years before I had anything to do with the UFC again, just because there's no reason for me to be involved. And then Joe Selecki got signed to the UFC, so I started cornering him. And now the UFC is that way, and they take really good care of you. And I would say you could look at it different ways on who takes better care of their athletes now. And now PFL has bought Bellator out. In my understanding, this is since I retired, so I don't know anything for sure. But from what I'm hearing from fighters and like my friends who coach fighters that were in Bellator, it's been a very bad experience for everybody. And I think PFL, normally a big organization buzz out a small one. PFL was very small and did not really have, and people are getting pissed, did not really have elite level fighters. And then they bought out Bellator with all these better fighters that are getting paid more money and things like that. And I think they just are really having trouble merging the two. I could be completely wrong about that. Other people might give you a different answer. But everybody I've talked to, they're like, we just don't know when we're going to fight again. We don't know what's going on. They can't give us any answers. They can't afford a lot of the fighters. So now I don't know what the better case was. But for me, Bellator was great.
Wilmington, and I mean, I could be completely wrong because I know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA in general has become really popular, especially in the last 20 years, just for people to take up rather than karate or whatever else. But Wilmington, as far as any place that I've ever lived or been, seems to have a really high density of professional athletes. I mean, you got you, Joel, Derek Brunson, Jamie Pickett. Are there any others that I'm missing?
So when I came here, I think Jamie had maybe 1 or 2 pro fights.
When did you move here?
I mean, we moved here in 2015.
Okay.
January.
And Wilmington was a really weird place because you got Derek Brunson, who obviously everybody knows is an absolute stud. You know, great wrestler, great kickboxer, really good MMA fighter. And like there was tons of gyms in town. Like nobody really trained. Like I would go, and I'm not going to name gyms, but I would go to like these gyms and try to get people to roll. And like none of the black belts would train. I had one gym tell me since I was a black belt I couldn't train there. One gym had a ton of black belts, but like trying to get them on the mat to train was like pulling teeth. Went to another gym in town to try and train there. The guy still hates me to this day for walking into his gym and like sent me messages on Facebook about how bad of a person I was.
For walking in and wanting to train there.
My assumption is like he just thought like if I roll with you, you're going to submit me in front of my students, you know? And so that's kind of when, you know, we talked about I never wanted to own a gym. And we kind of talked about
It's true. He was always very against it. He said he'd never do it.
Like, how am I going to train here if I can't get people to train? Like maybe like if I build something, it can be kind of a neutral place. We can work on getting people in. And so when we started the gym, it was not really with the intention of like growing. It was to get people to train with me, you know? And that's when Jamie, who he lives out of town, but he was coming once a week to train with Derek. And then Jamie started coming more. And then we got Joe Selecki to move to town. And then Corey Crumpler, who is from the area, he was a 3-0 pro, but he never really like wanted to fight. He did really most of it to help me. A fantastic training partner. He was traveling a lot for work, and it kind of worked out at the time that he started staying in town and became like my best training partner. And then who else am I? Trey Woods, who Trey's been a really big training partner of mine for a long time. And again, he's a 3-0 pro, but he's retired and done now. He may come back and do a bare knuckle fight, but really good boxer. But like a lot of these guys, like they were just kind of split everywhere, and we were very fortunate to like start getting them under one roof.
Right.
And now Joe has had a great opportunity to go run a gym in Charlotte, so he's out there doing that. Jamie's retired now, so now we've got Troy Kane, who's really probably one of the best unsigned athletes that I've trained with. I think he'll be in the UFC before too long, but he's here now training at our gym. But the density.
We've got a pro from Myrtle Beach who comes up and trains pretty
Cody Jones,
regularly.
Really good. But he's from Myrtle Beach and he grew up there. And he runs a gym down there and trains. I think he has a real shot being in the UFC before too long too. But Wilmington has a really amazing density of athletes, just incredible athletes in the area. And it was crazy how hard it was to get any of them to train, much less train together back when we moved here. But it's been a huge blessing. I'd say just the freak athletes board in Wilmington are crazy. I don't understand it. It's unlike anything I've ever seen.
See, I don't know anybody here because I'm not from here. She was born and raised here, so she.
But completely out of the athlete circuit. So that's why I said really. I genuinely did not know that.
Yeah, it's I've trained. Grew up in Alabama. Wrestling's not huge in Alabama, so you don't get a lot of the really good athletes in wrestling. But like wrestling in college in Missouri, where wrestling's the biggest thing in the world, and training in everywhere all over the country. I would say like just raw athletes, like Wilmington's, for the number of people here, probably the best I've ever seen. Like you just get people coming in that I'm like, how on earth have you never done this and you're this athletic? Like obviously you got to teach them how to do things, And that takes a long time. It's just raw athleticism. It's unreal.
You said Missouri, Iowa, Indiana are all huge, especially the bigger schools where they actually can afford to have a team rather than just being a club sport. But my high school, I only wrestled 1 year, my freshman year. Mm-hmm. Our wrestling coach was probably her height, about her size. And that's the only adult coach, teacher, whatever in my high school that I feared all the time. I'd be walking down the corner and you'd hear him, so my junior and senior year, I only went to school half day. I went to a co-op for IU and Purdue, and then I would come back to regular school campus for the rest of my classes. And so nobody else would be in the halls. We'd be kind of like in between. And he was one of the guys that'd be like walking around patrolling the hallways, because he didn't do anything other than coach, gym class and wrestling. Mm-hmm. So he just was kind of doing whatever during the day. And you'd hear him or see him. He'd be like whistling. He'd be like, shit, run around the corner. Don't let him see you. He'll make you do push-ups or something here in the hallway.
Yeah. Wrestling's a crazy sport. The thing I say about wrestling, when I was in middle school and high school, my mom lived in South Bend. So I've spent a good bit of time up there, like visiting and then wrestling some up there. But, the reason that wrestling's so big in the Midwest is because you have to be miserable to be good at wrestling. And so if it's extremely cold and there's nothing to do except be cold and miserable, like wrestling's going to take off, you know? So then that's why like the wrestling coaches, they're never happy. They're like our best coaches ever. Like Saban would have been a great wrestling coach, win a national championship and he's pissed because of the way they poured the Gatorade on him, Mm-hmm. Like that's how a wrestling coach has to be. So they're just terrifying. I really didn't want to coach wrestling because I want to be miserable forever.
So I did see that you were a NAIA champion. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you've said you're a black belt. You've got how many championships in MMA do you have?
Well, it's kind of hard to say. Like every organization will have their like title. Mm-hmm. Some of them like mean something. Some of them don't. And then so I fought for the Bellator world title. Like that would be considered like a real legitimate world title. And I lost that. I've won several smaller organizations like championship belts. But. Fought some good guys doing it, but it's not like a real super recognized thing, And then I would say for jiu-jitsu, winning the ADCC trials. So most people don't know what it is because if you don't know a lot about jiu-jitsu, you wouldn't. But ADCC is like the Olympics for jiu-jitsu. So it's the top 16 people in the world that each weighed. And they do trials. Like each continent gets 2 trials. So you get 2 people from each continent that qualify that way. And so in 2017, I qualified, had to beat 2 world champs in one day to do it. So that was a big accomplishment, I would say.
Well, and you were hurt. His back, he could hardly walk.
Yeah.
Oh, my
goodness. In between matches, one of our very best friends, Andreas Cervantes, he's out in California. He's a massage therapist. And so in between matches, Andreas is over there literally having work on John's back just so he can get up and go get back out on the mat and compete in the next one. And the funniest thing was in your post interviews after you won, they asked, you said something like, well, I was sitting there thinking, I've made it to the finals. I could totally just go in and lose and be fine and it'd be very well respected. But Lindsey really wants to go to Finland. I'm going to have to win.
So if you win.
So how was Finland?
It was great.
So if you win the trials, wherever the actual ADCC tournament is, obviously they pay you and send you there, and all that. And so I had no interest in doing the trials or anything. I was supposed to fight, and I'll call him out because he kept docking me. Alexander Shlemenko out of Russia. And every time we were supposed to fight, he would at the last second, he couldn't do it. And so I was in a training camp getting ready for him. And he backs out. And our buddy Andreas from California was actually in town visiting us. And he was like, oh, man, you just need to do the trials. I'm not going out to do the trials. And he was like, well, if you win, you go to Finland. And Lindsey's like, you're going. I want to go to Finland.
I love to travel.
So then I get in the finals. And like she's saying, I was struggling all day. I was hurting real bad. And I beat Josh Hinger, who was the current world champ, in the semis. So I got DJ Jackson in the finals, who at the time – DJ was supposed to be the greatest no-gi grappler of all time. There's articles about it, how he's the perfect no-gi grappler and all this. And they called him the Kimura kid. He Kimura'd everybody. I'm like, oh gosh, okay. I feel terrible. You have so many matches in one day. And I've got DJ Jackson in the finals. Like, if I just go out there and lose close, like this is a really good day for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, Lindsey wants to go to Finland so bad. I've got to go out there. I got to go hard, and I got to beat this guy. And that was just as long as I don't have to go into overtime. And of course, I had to go into overtime to begin. So it was miserable. But
I have one question. Mm-hmm. What is a no-gi?
So
that's a good question.
You ever see like the traditional uniforms, like for any kind of martial art? Like,
sure.
That's a
karate
gi.
Okay.
outfit.
Yeah. Some martial arts call them a komodo. Some call them a gi. So in jiu-jitsu, we call it a gi. So no gi would just be training without that, like shorts and a t-shirt, shorts and a rash guard, something like that.
So it's not wearing gear, just hyphenated down?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I thought it was like a special move or something.
No, it's a very uncomfortable, unflattering outfit that you can wear and train it. I refuse to wear it. I am only no-gi if I train. But
the world's going that way now.
Well, again, because it's so uncomfortable. You're incredibly hot. It flatters nobody.
Right.
And I'm a hobbyist.
It's like a white rectangle shirt.
It's boxy.
And
Yes, when we first started dating, and I was like, okay, I very rarely would ever train. It was more of I just show up at the gym. Mm-hmm. And then
it was to hang out with your man.
Yeah, it was the only way I got to see him. Yeah. And then later I started doing jiu-jitsu and I was like, oh, this is actually really fun. And then when they showed me those outfits and I put them on, I was like,
you're like, no, thank you.
No, I'm just going to do no-gi because I'm an adult and I can make those decisions.
Because I'm an adult.
And I don't have to wear one if I don't want to. And I don't want to.
I used to have to kick her out of practice all the time.
He did.
When we were in California, I coached, I was part of the pro team, but I also coached jiu-jitsu at Dethrone Base Camp. And so it wasn't my gym. I couldn't make the rules. They were very strict. And Josh Koscheck, who I'd say is a friend of mine and ours, but he's also very strict on how he wants things done, and he was one of the owners. And it was like, if it's a gi class, like I had to have very good like discipline of you keep your gi on, we do everything in the gi. Lindsey would come in and do a round and take her gi off, lay it down, lay on the ground. And I'm like, put your gi on. And she's like, I'm hot. I don't want to wear it.
Because he took it as a sign of disrespect?
Well, because it was like they had very strict rules of how they wanted it ran. Mm-hmm. And it's like now if somebody did that, I'd be like, hey, just move out of the way while you relax and cool down. Like that's not how they wanted things ran. So I was running it for somebody else. So I'm like, you can't do this because now everybody else in the class wants to do this, And,
but my argument was solid. Yeah, but I'm your wife. I can do things. You're not.
And so I had to kick her out of practice a few times out there.
And I just said, all right, honey, I'll see you at home, and then I'll be back tomorrow if I want to.
So you guys have lived in California, lived in Tennessee. Where else have you lived?
We first started dating. We were in Alabama.
Okay.
That's where I'm from, and where she went to school.
At Alabama. Then we moved to Nashville for 2.5 years.
So wait, you were in school at Alabama. You just happened to already be a fan of Alabama?
Yeah, well, I grew up in Alabama. And then I graduated college and moved back to Alabama. Okay. And then that's where I met her.
So it was obviously meant to be from the beginning.
Yeah. We're written in the stars for sure.
I grew up thinking that I'll say this, obviously as a kid, my parents were always preaching, don't smoke, don't smoke, don't smoke. And I asked my stepmom when she was marrying my dad, I was like, would you marry my dad if he was a smoker? I was 6 years old. And she was like, no, I wouldn't. And I was like, would you marry him if he was an Auburn fan? And she was like, I love him, maybe. And it offended me and blew my mind that she said maybe. And, so that was how Alabama I was raised. As Harvey Updike for Alabama fans know who that is, I grew up with too much Bama. I thought it was the only thing that mattered in the world was Alabama football.
That's true.
That's about how I feel about Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put it any other way, but that win in the Rose Bowl was, first of all, I turned off the game in the fourth quarter. I was done. I was like, we're never gonna get it done. We're not going anywhere. So I didn't watch overtime. When I saw the score at the end of the game, man, be glad that we weren't friends on Facebook because I would have been very, very, very terrible.
No, are you a football fan?
I'm like that all the time to Ohio State fans. So for most fan bases, for most fan bases, like sucks to be you. Like I don't take it too crazy, but Ohio State, because they had us for so many years and they just have this mentality where they can never lose. I mean, I don't know if you saw this or not, but after last weekend's game, they are asking the FBI to investigate their kicker for throwing the game. That's how crazy they are. But that win against Alabama, just like that finally felt like we finally did something. And then to win the national championship, I was super happy about. So with the new 12-team playoff, what are your thoughts on Alabama's chances this year with Kalen DeBoer?
They got no discipline. So I think it's one of those things like one day they could be the best team in the country, and the next team they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. So I think it's look at Michigan, look at Florida State. You know how far they've fallen in 1 year. It's like and no offense to you, I mean, they got a huge win this weekend that was awesome. But the way the world is now, that you can't be mean to a player because they'll just leave. And it seems like there's only 2 coaches in the country that have figured out how to discipline a player and keep him from leaving, and that's Sarkisian and Dan Lanning. So I don't know. I think if Alabama gets to play Notre Dame first, I feel like that's a gift. And then after that, I don't know, because I just don't know.
You think they'll perform well in South Bend though?
So I just was talking to my father-in-law about that. South Bend being one of the coldest cities in America. On the wrong day, that can be a really hard game for people from Tuscaloosa. But I'd say out of everybody, the only team that never has to prove themselves to get in is Notre Dame, because they don't have a conference, so they got to prove anything, So Notre Dame may be fantastic this year. You just never know till you get there. But we know every other team in the playoffs is really good, and Alabama can be really good, and they can be really bad just because they don't keep their discipline.
I'll tell you with absolutely no uncertainty that I would root for Alabama in that game.
Yeah.
I'm not rooting.
Being a Michigan fan, I would assume so.
There's no team I hate more in the entire world than Ohio State, but Notre Dame, I don't even respect them.
See, I'm right there with you. We get along real well about that.
One of our very best friends is a huge Ohio State fan.
Now, I don't necessarily hate Ohio State. I like giving him a hard time and all that stuff, but we just joke around. But I cannot stand Notre Dame. They get so much treatment that they have never deserved.
I went to school with Mike Bray's son, Kyle, and Bob Davies' son, Clay. They were both in my high school class. So anytime we would beat Notre Dame when we were in middle school and high school, man, I was probably the most obnoxious kid walking through the hallways.
I can only imagine.
And we were, you said your mom lived up there?
Yeah.
How familiar are you with the area?
I mean, this was like I only went and like visited for like a week at a time.
Okay.
So I've been up there a good bit, but I don't know much about the area.
So I went to what's more or less like a county school. It's the biggest public school out there. It's about 15 minutes from Notre Dame, east of Notre Dame, and that's where I wouldn't say all, but Penn.
Yeah, I wrestled there.
Yeah, so
in a tournament one time.
You might even know the coach that I was referencing.
It was just it was like an open tournament, and I went up and for like a week, and I wrestled it there. So I didn't know anybody or anything. I just went independently and wrestled there.
Yeah, it's big money school.
It's huge.
Yeah, but the majority of the people, because you grow up there, they're all Notre Dame fans, and they're just so pretentious and obnoxious. And maybe I wouldn't feel that way if I didn't grow up there, but with you growing up in Alabama and you still feel the same way.
Well, there's nobody that hates Notre Dame worse than Alabama fans, because I don't have the year, but it was in the 50s. Alabama was number 1 in the country. They played the number 3 team in the country for the national championship. Notre Dame was ranked number 2 in the country. Alabama won. Notre Dame tied, and the AP voted Notre Dame national champions, so they got their national championship that year. So it's a very, anybody that's an Alabama fan would like to say Notre Dame can't play football anymore.
So Michigan had a similar kind of thing in '97 with Nebraska. I don't have that kind of animosity with Nebraska, though, but they legitimately think they won the national championship in '97. We didn't play each other. Michigan was number 1. They were number 2. There was a split vote. And that back then it was based on vote. You didn't actually play for it. So now with these championships, the bowl series previously, and then the 14 playoff, now the 12 team playoff, it's a completely different story because now you're actually making people prove that they're better than each other.
Yeah.
But yeah.
12 team. This could be a fun year.
See, I thought they should go 8, maybe 10. I think 12 is just too much of a stretch. But I mean, I understand why they did it. So I thought if you did 8, you could still have, or was it 10? I did the math before, and now I'm going to sound stupid. Because if you had 6, right, you could do 2 teams get the bye, 2 teams play each other to play in, so you have 4 teams. So 6 and then 10 were my logical ones because then you still have 2 teams that get a bye. Now you have 4, and you're not even playing in bowl locations. You have home field advantage for some teams going to Notre Dame rather than playing in somewhere else.
I think the reason they probably did it is because it was getting so bad with players not playing in bowls, and now you can make more bowl games mean something.
That's true.
And then you get these home games where there's going to be a lot of money. I think it's going to make it a lot more fun.
I think with NIL, they're going to keep people, unless they truly are injured, they're going to hold people to play on the team because now you're getting paid.
Yeah,
it's completely different from being
I
on
hope they
scum.
do that because that'll make bowl games worth watching.
She doesn't know what we're talking about. So a lot of times players, if you go like Michigan season this year, right? Michigan will probably have 4, 5 key players that won't play in the bowl game simply because they don't want to get injured before the NFL draft. Because the bowl game that they're going to doesn't mean anything to anybody. It's just another game against somebody else. It's not. There's no real meaning behind it. Okay, yeah, you get a ring or you get a little trophy from the Chick-fil-A bowl or the Duke's Mayo mayonnaise bowl or whatever. Nobody cares about it. But when people are getting paid, it's going to be a completely different story.
I was about to say, I wonder if they have in their contracts that if the team, because they're getting paid by the fans of the team, that's where the money's coming from a lot of the times, right? So is there something in this contract of if we make it to a bowl game, you can't back out, you have to play, or you don't get your full contracted amount?
I think that will be as it goes, they'll be implemented more and more because there's so much money in the bowl games. You know, when they don't mean anything, there's hundreds of thousands of dollars.
But now these kids are employed. It's not like before where I wasn't making any money. NFL money and futures on the line. I have to make sure I'm protected. This is my future. I'm going to sit this one out. Now you are employed and you are making money, and these kids are making a lot of money.
Yep.
I wonder how that will affect the contracting for those.
Hopefully
now
it'll
that
make it better.
this is actually happening. We've had it going on for a while, and now we're entering into bowl games. Like, well, how will they start to look at that?
Well, now, I mean, Michigan. So Ohio State made a big deal last year. I don't know if you guys saw this. Ohio State made a big deal about how they spent $20 million on the roster because they wanted to win the championship this year. Now they're a 2-loss team at risk of not even making the playoffs with a $20 million roster. Michigan just dropped $10.5 million on one player.
Every year is going to go up so much.
Yeah. So I'd expect there's probably going to be like a salary cap at some point or something.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to.
Does it Milrow? What's his?
Well, most elite quarterbacks start the year at like $3 million, before they take a snap. But you run it, and it's amazing they cannot turn it into a successful season. But nobody can compete with Texas A&M on how much money they're putting out there. So if they don't do a salary cap, then Texas A&M is going to eventually go spend $100 million on players every year, and but it doesn't seem to pan out for them. They're paying more than anybody else, and they still keep losing.
Yeah. So.
You don't think the boosters from Alabama or any others can come through? I actually don't know any like big corporate graduates of Alabama, and that's me just genuinely not knowing because I've never gone and researched it. But do you guys have any big names? Like
there's a lot more money than people would think in Alabama
because it's Alabama, so they don't.
Yeah, but there's not it's not like A&M where you got 40 billionaires that are graduating and working the oil fields, and they just give you as much money as you want, and then Texas sitting far behind them, What do they say? Like Tennessee's biggest donor is Haslam, and I think A&M has 20-something donors that are as big as Haslam.
Yeah.
So that's wild.
We've got, and I don't know if you've seen the story, but the donor that came through for Michigan's NIL package for Bryce Underwood is the wife that nobody knew about of Larry Ellison, who's the second richest man in the world. He's the founder of Oracle. He's 80 years old. The article that I read said that she just graduated during the Brady Hoke era at Michigan, which was 10 years ago, putting her about our age. And
What a great love story.
Yeah.
She was what, wife number 5?
Yeah. Yeah. 5th wife. But he's not a graduate of Michigan. He went to University of Chicago and Illinois, Champaign, Illinois proper. So no affiliation at all with Michigan.
So she did the donation.
Yeah.
It's her school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so you have Larry Page, one of the founders of Google, is a Michigan graduate. I didn't even know that, actually. And then you have, there's tons of other billionaires stuff as well. But the biggest gripe that I have with any NIL package or team or collective or whatever, the Oregon fans think that just having Nike.
Just having one guy.
Yeah.
Oh, and they talk about it and talk about it. We have one of our best friends, a big Oregon fan. And every time he's like, well, Nike, look what Nike did for him.
Yeah, they're like, he's going to back up the Brinks truck. And I'm like, but he hasn't yet. So when is that supposed? Sure, this year they're the number 1 team in the country, probably going to make a good run through the playoffs. But that doesn't mean anything for next year.
Yeah.
And at the pace of things right now, you have to do that every single year. There's going to be major fundraising rounds every year, year in and year out. Eventually, you're going to have basically 10 to 20 elite teams and then everybody else.
Yeah. Well, it's like Arkansas. Like they've got Walmart and Chick-fil-A there, they got so many billionaires. I think one town in Arkansas has the most billionaires per capita of like anywhere in the country. I've always heard that. I don't know how much that's true, but they still don't have enough to become that they're not winning everything.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be the same thing. Like Oregon's will be a powerhouse one year and then not the next.
Yep.
Well, do you have any final questions for them, Andrew?
Yeah.
That don't pertain to football?
Yeah. Actually, I have 2. Do you have anything before I do
No,
that?
go for it. Take it away.
Well, actually, I do. Well, did we ever ask how? Yeah, we asked where you met, but not how.
Do you want to tell her?
Do you want to?
Is it a salacious story?
No.
No, not the way. I was trained at a gym in Tuscaloosa, and there was we did MMA, and then there was a CrossFit portion of the gym, and she came in and started training CrossFit.
He walked by with his shirt off.
Oh.
And I just said, oh my God, frat boys don't look like that. That's amazing.
How old were you at the time? Just for reference.
I was
You were
like
21.
20. No, I was
Yeah,
20.
you
I hadn't turned
No.
21 yet.
You were a senior
Yeah.
in college.
Did you graduate college at 21? I don't think so. I think you were 21, getting ready to turn 22. Yeah.
Well, we've already established, I don't know how long we've been together, so clearly
But
I don't know.
how old were you?
I was 24.
Yeah.
Okay, so not too much older.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he had his shirt off and he had a dog. I was like, okay.
Perfection.
Yeah. Let's do this.
So I made sure to take him on our first date.
Yes.
'Cause she hadn't met him when I got her to go on our first date. And it's like, well, I'm going to bring him. It's either it's going to go really well or not good. And I guess if it doesn't go good, then she's got to like the dog anyway, if I'm going to date her. So she came in and jumped on him and started attacking him and loving on him. So I was like, well, that's perfect.
Perfect love story.
15 years later, and how many animals
You
have
tried
we
to
had
take him
since
from me
then?
the first night. I was leaving. She's like, you can leave him here.
Yeah, he was like, I got to go back to Birmingham and take him to my dad's. Like, just leave him in my apartment. I'll watch him.
No.
He wouldn't do that. He didn't trust me.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So this both may and may not seem like it's out of the blue. What are your thoughts on Tim Kennedy? Do you have any?
I think I don't know enough about him. I thought he was a great athlete. And he did a really good job in MMA, and I think he's done a lot to bring attention to a lot of things in MMA. So I think positive, but I don't know. There's something I don't know about that. You're looking at me like I should have a different opinion, and I don't know enough to know.
No, there's stuff going on within the veteran community where he hasn't told the truth in his book and stuff. And so I was just kind of wondering if maybe
I don't even know who this person is. Who?
He fought for the Strikeforce title and lost, and then when the UFC bought him out, he got picked up and he fought for the UFC for several years.
he did the one of the Fight for the Troops where they did it like in the hangar. I can't remember, like number 5 or something like that was one of his first UFC fights. He got his ass kicked by Yoel Romero.
Yeah.
That was his last fight.
So one thing I will say about him, I always thought it was funny because, you know, like if you're fighting at a high level, you're spending your entire life revolves around training, you know. And I always did think like there's no way somebody could spend the time doing like being a part of the operations that it sounds like he's a part of and be able to train to fight, you know, at a high level.
Wait, they were happening simultaneously?
Yeah.
I thought it was after he had left.
No, he's still in the reserves now. So
okay, well now that's making more sense.
So the military does some quirky things depending on how well known you are and what your image is like. And so they made exceptions for him where that was good for recruiting. So they allowed him to do that on his contract on official time.
Okay.
So they made that his job. They made him coach what we call combatives in the Army, which is just a dumbed down version of jiu-jitsu, just very basic stuff. And then you incorporate like the kind of things that somebody would typically be wearing, like, you know, when you're fighting somebody in combat, they probably have a shirt on. So you incorporate, you know, doing collar chokes and things like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So he was active in the military and fighting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until right now.
So I thought that was the case, and I always thought this doesn't seem possible.
When I think of how many hours and stuff you had to spend in the gym every day and every other fighter we've ever known, again, I know nothing about
So that would make sense.
That
like
seems
you're
like
going to teach a class a day, and
a lot.
that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So then my last question, and this is the question that I'm sure all 3 people that'll tune in to watch this or listen to this are going to ask
3
is,
people?
okay, a couple thousand. Would you take a fight with Jake Paul?
Oh my gosh.
But I just really don't want to go to another training camp.
I got you.
I mean, the money was there; it'd be worth it, and I'm sure it's it'd be a huge payday, and that'd be great. Man, I enjoy not having to get ready for a fight. It is the worst.
I have only done a little bit. Like basically the extent of my knowledge of all of jiu-jitsu comes from basic Army combatives classes. After I injured my back, I started making the joke. People were like, "Oh, come to the gym and roll. Come learn jiu-jitsu." I'm like, "I'll just shoot you." I'm already injured. All you're gonna do is you're gonna ball me up. Like it doesn't matter if you're big or small. If you're proficient and you know the right things, like you could probably fight up or down, maybe 2 weight classes, I'm sure, and be maybe not win a belt, but you'd probably be competitive with a lot of guys, I'm sure. And that's my fear. Oh, you're a fighter? Nope, I'm good. I'm gonna stay over here. I'm gonna do my thing. You go over there. We don't have to do this.
Right.
I'm conceding. I always tell people people think oh, okay, you're getting ready for a fight. You gotta get your weight down. You gotta train. Yeah, that stuff is hard. But it's the okay, it's Christmas. I'm gonna take Lindsey and my daughter to a Christmas event. I'm not there. All I'm thinking about is man, Monday, I gotta hit this cardio. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. It's your whole life for 2 months is wrapped around this fight, and nothing else matters. You don't think about anything else, and it's just so draining. And last year was my first Christmas ever that I didn't have, because Christmas is in the middle of wrestling season, so my whole life it's been that, that I actually could focus and enjoy and spend Christmas doing Christmas. It was amazing. I don't think I could ever fight again.
We even had on our honeymoon. He had just signed a contract for a fight, and so we're in the Virgin Islands, and we'd have to run sprints. I don't know why I had to do it too. I still have not figured that out.
That's what a supportive wife does.
Yeah, come on, Lizzie, we're gonna go run sprints up this mountain.
Yeah, every day on our honeymoon.
Why are we running sprints up a mountain?
Hill sprints, because that's all I could do.
I just want to drink a pina colada out of a coconut. Why am I doing this?
You're I'll wait at the bottom of the hill with my drink and just...
Yes. But no, I did it too. It's terrible.
So you actually did answer a question that I had, but I forgot to ask, because that's a key running thing with anybody that we've talked to on the show was, how busy are you? Do you actually get to spend time with your family? Do you actually get downtime or anything like that? So, I mean, you basically answer that question by saying that by no longer fighting, by retiring, you've got your family life back. So,
Well, we also made sure, plus we are we're not really big kid people. Like kids terrified me to my core.
Really?
Oh yes, I had never changed a diaper until our daughter was 2 weeks old, and I changed my first diaper. Yeah.
So who was changing them the first 2 weeks? You exclusively?
I had a C-section.
Okay.
So, and I had a pretty rough recovery, and so standing up and changing her was hard. So I had him and my mom, and they did it, and so I was like, all right, I'm not gonna,
You're not gonna break your baby. Don't worry.
Well,
It's
but
okay.
also work smarter, not harder. If they're gonna do it for me, like take it while you can. And we waited till toward the end of his career to actually have a kid because I wanted to be at all the fights.
Right.
It does take up so much of your life and training, and it makes it hard. I remember after she was born, she was 3 months old. You were in training camp for the title fight. He's traveling, training. I'm home by myself, and she gets RSV. And I'm already not very maternal.
Right.
And so I'm trapped at home with this infant who has RSV all by myself. We have no family near. He's gone, and I'm calling him at like midnight because the outlet sock is telling me her oxygen levels are low. So I'm rushing her to the ER, and I run in screaming and like, my baby's not breathing, my baby's not, she's dying, blah, blah, blah. She has RSV. And they immediately take me back there, and they're looking, and they hook her up to the oxygen. And of course, her oxygen levels are like 99. Perfect. And they look at me and they go, okay, ma'am, so this perfectly pink, happy little baby is dying. Tell me more about that. Why do you feel that way? And I was just like, I'm going to get out of here and let you treat real emergencies. And I'm so sorry. But I was by myself. And so, had we done that earlier when he was I would not have enjoyed that. But then the fact that we waited towards the end when he was retiring, now she's 3, he's present all the time.
3 times after we had her. And, and it's just everything's so much more enjoyable, I look at my friends that like are still fighting, like still trying to push their career forward, and they've got kids, and I'm like, man, it's just be so hard to be on, because I want to be on with Penelope every time we do anything, and when you can't, I mean, how many times in our marriage have I've like cramped up on the couch and I'm like screaming after a hard day of practice, and I'm like, you have to get me Gatorade, or
the scariest is I was driving, which I never drive. But
no,
he always drives.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I was driving. I had to get out.
Are you sure? And that's why. And then I had to drive.
I went. You guys.
Again,
you
we've learned to
remember
have no
Tim
memory.
Bosch?
But
Maybe.
He was in the UFC, and he was down in North Carolina and had a fight coming up and needed to train. And and there's nobody for him to train with. So my buddy called me. He's like, hey, can you get to Cary and train with Tim Bosch?
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, no problem. I'll get out there. Well, Lindsey got home early, and I was like, hey, I'm going to Cary. You want to go with me? And she's like, yeah, I'll go. And so we trained, and it was really hot in there. And so when we did a really long training session, and I didn't really think much of it, I get back in the car, and we get about halfway home, and I cramped up in my entire body, and I was driving. And I had to swerve off the side of the road, stop, and like basically
like
get
his
out
legs are
and like crawl to the other side of the car and get her in to drive. If she's not going with me, I don't know what I would have done. I wouldn't be able to get home. But just stuff like that.
Being an
It'd be
MMA
hard to
fighter,
do
it's
with
so
a,
fun.
with a toddler,
Oh yeah, no, it was.
And especially since if anything happens, I'm the one that she needs to fix, that Penelope needs for everything. So I'm trying to cramp up Penelope. Even like getting dressed, she doesn't want her to do it. She wants me to do it. I wouldn't be able to do it if I was.
Yeah,
Such a daddy's girl.
Oh, he's the favorite, and it's awesome. Like it is awesome.
You're like, I allow it.
Oh, well, this morning we're trying to get ready to go to school, and I picked out her clothes, and I mean I nailed it. Pink pants, Barbie top, like everything's perfect, and everything she'll like.
But
and
Daddy didn't pick it
And I
out.
walk in, and she's, I don't want you to put it on me. I want Daddy to dress me. And I'm like, okay, walk out, honey. You're up. She won't get dressed until Daddy comes and gets her dressed.
That's
So it's
adorable.
fantastic.
So do you work from home? I don't want to drag you guys on too late. It's already 1:55.
I'm sorry. I do work. I work from home and I travel. But like, if I weren't working from home, I'd already be on the airport and be gone. Like, I take like 6 a.m. flights. I'm out and I get back. So if I'm in town, I'm working from home all day. But yeah, no, she wants him to do everything.
The joke that you see, like the memes, like, I want to sleep in my husband's side of the bed because apparently he can't hear the kids when they wake up. It's the exact
It's the opposite.
Oh, yeah. I don't hear a thing.
It's the exact opposite. And I don't think there's ever been a time that she's ever woken up and said, Mommy. It's always
No.
Daddy. And it's so sweet and it's so cute until it's like 1 a.m. I'm like, oh, what she doing there?
So you're fully retired. So you're Mr. Mom now, correct?
Well, no, I run my gym and I have a lot of fighters that I coach and stuff like
Okay.
that. So I still spend a ton of time at the gym. I still train twice a day too because I've got so many guys that are competitive. So I'm
Okay.
trying to, keep help them and stuff like that. It's really good for me. But Penelope comes to the gym a lot, spends a lot of time there. And
Yeah. She's been raised pretty much in that gym.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, that's really sweet.
yeah, she's happy there. But, yeah.
Well, do you guys have anything that you're working on that you want people to check out? Any? I know you've got Salty dog.
Other than our next round of Christmas card
I
pictures,
knew,
which
I
will
knew
be
there's
taken,
No chance she's not going to say
which
that.
will be taken on this Sunday afternoon. So please stand by. Pink is this year's theme.
Ooh.
We live in a pink world with our 3-year-old daughter. Everything is pink. Has to be pink at all times. And we have to match all the time. So the amount of pink John has in his closet, because every day, Daddy, we're wearing pink today.
You know what?
Would you wear pink if Charlotte asked you to?
Sure.
Wow.
So I
There
actually
you go.
saw, and it
There
must
you
have been
go.
from the Mule Days.
Oh, we're
that you
Team
guys
Pink
were
at Mule
wearing.
Days.
Yeah. I saw that.
Everybody at Mule Days knows because one of our mules, I pink her mane and tail.
Okay.
So I literally dye it hot pink, mane and tail, and then everybody who goes with us wears pink and pink, like we are Team Pink.
And so you said September?
It's always at the end of September. If you're local to Eastern North Carolina, go to Benson Mule Days.
Or if you're in Tennessee, go to the big one.
Oh gosh, Columbia Mule Days. It's the big time right there, guys.
Have to go next year.
Redneck
One
fun.
day. It is so much fun. And they have rodeo, like legit rodeos at night. Next year, Penelope will be doing her first round of mutton busting. So we're really excited
know what
about
What
that
that.
means.
is mutton
What?
bustin'? What am I even saying that right?
Yes, okay.
What is that?
The Southerners have come in and just rocked her world, I think. So,
I'm born and raised here. I thought I was South.
well, you got to remember Tennessee and Alabama is who you're talking to. So
Right.
in
You
the
were deep South.
Yes, it's a different world. In the rodeo world, there is an activity called mutton busting where they have sheep and you take your children, as long as they're like at the 40-pound range and below. You do put helmets and safety gear on them, people.
Okay.
And you strap them to the back of a sheep.
You don't strap them. You set them on it.
Well,
they
you set them
grab
on
the bull,
it. They just hold on.
And it's like
and then
trying
you
to
let
ride
them fly.
You try,
And
like them
see-
trying to ride a Bronco.
Yeah, but
And
it's
you
a sheep.
think like, oh, kids will
amazing.
fall off the side. They
No.
don't. They always fall over the head and then get run over by the sheep.
Yes, but they
And
have
they-
helmets on and stuff.
And they always come up crying, but not because they're hurt, just because they're scared.
Yeah.
And you always see the parents like holding them up, and the kids like, ah.
Simba.
But they win scholarships.
So proud. Yeah, they have
They win
scholarships.
scholarships?
Yes, but
If whoever wins like the rodeo, they always like the prize is always scholarship money.
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
Then I approve.
No, you need to Google mutton
Mutton
bustin'.
bustin'.
It's so
And
funny.
It is so funny to watch these little kids just clinging to the wool for dear life, and that
my
sheep
gosh.
just takes off, and every time.
I don't think I've even seen a sheep in North Carolina.
Oh my
it's just
gosh,
too
it's-
hot here for them.
It's amazing, and
I
it's
think
so
what
fun.
It's whoever hangs on the longest.
Yes,
right?
it's like a bull ride. Who's got the longest
Right.
ride, right? And
So next year.
yes, so I told John there are several things. If they do not happen, we've failed as parents. Number one, if Penelope never mutton busts, there's our first fail as a parent. 'Cause
Did you do it when you were a child?
I wish. No, I did my own version where I would just go and jump on the back of the horses unsupervised. I fell off many
okay.
times. So I had my own animal rebellion activities there. But if we don't do that, and then if one summer while P's home from college, if she doesn't go and try to be a trick rider in Dolly's Dixie Stampede in Tennessee, we failed then. We failed then. I need her to be the first mule trick rider in the Dixie Stampede that is of the great Dolly Parton. And then if she doesn't
That's
do that,
funny.
I failed again. I guess we started when she was like 8, before her second birthday.
For her first.
Was it? No.
We took her she was 9 months, her first Christmas. That's when she had her.
Is that when she did her first Dolly Dixie Stampede? She had an adrenaline dump. So you go in, it's a dinner show for those of you who don't know in East Tennessee. And we take her in there and, again, we have horses. She's seen them. She loves them. Dogs and horses are her thing. And as soon as the first horse comes out, horse. And and like just it starts escalating. She's jumping and she's excited.
She shook. It looked like she was having a seizure. She was shaking so hard,
so excited.
and then she just gassed herself out.
And she
it was
just slumped in John's lap.
Oh.
Like just a full adrenaline dump. And so every year we do the Dixie Stampede, and it's a big deal now for us.
Well, I will forget by then. She'll remember, but if she doesn't remember, you guys will have to remind us because we'll definitely come out to it.
Yes. We'll let you guys know and come to Benson Mule Days.
Wow.
I'm excited.
Girl, you don't even know what you're in for.
You're right,
but
I
you are
don't.
going to love it.
I think I'm gonna have like my mouth dropping the whole time, and then whoops, I'm being rude. Just not because I'm being rude, but I'm in awe.
It'll be fun. Get your cowboy hat, dress the part, anything with fringe.
I don't even own a cowboy hat.
Fringe, sequins, whatever.
You should have seen. We went to the we went to the drag strip to Rockingham with friends of ours that live over in Leland, and they're jet car racers. So they get paid. It's just two guys. They get paid to bring their jet cars to different racetracks because it's like that's the draw for the crowd. People bring their beat up Mustang and whatever, and they race it down the track, and then they bring out these guys in the jet cars, and the whole crowd goes crazy. So we get out there. I'm wearing just shorts, shoes, like a Black Rifle t-shirt. She's all dressed up, all dolled up.
Not dressed up. I was just wearing a Lily Pulitzer maxi dress. It was warm, and I just wanted to be comfortable and walk around.
You were probably the brightest thing on the ground.
They posted me on their social media.
That's amazing.
The track photographer followed us everywhere, followed her everywhere.
Yeah, they're probably like, oh my gosh, we've never seen anything like that.
That's just like my go-to, like being comfortable when it's hot outside. I wear black when it's winter, bright florals when it's summertime. Like it's just what I do.
I fit in with the crowd. She stuck out. Just and we're holding arms, holding hands, whatever, walking everywhere. So I'm like, they're gonna post a picture and think that because I'm just wearing a Black Rifle shirt, like they're gonna think that somebody's here, like for something important. Because why in the world would a model be walking around in Rockingham, North Carolina?
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's
don't know what you're
fantastic.
supposed to wear to the drag strip.
Well, that's the thing. With at least Mule Days, it's rodeo, so you have a theme. What's the theme of I would have to do research.
Okay.
Of what is expected.
Don't
It's like
do
when I went to fights, I had my fight attire. Like there's a whole section of my closet.
Okay,
dedicated.
I have to know, what is fight attire for a woman?
Leather.
Most people know.
Like
just Lindsay's
fashion,
leather.
like fashion.
See,
leather.
I wouldn't know that.
Oh, lots of leather. Like really sexy. A lot of black.
Okay.
Like,
I can get down with the black.
Yeah,
I don't think I own anything leather.
Yeah, and I just wear a lot of leather. Yes, but a lot of like leather leggings, things like that. But it was very more, I guess, like a rockerish kind of vibe.
Okay.
So I had again my fighter wife era, as I call it.
Fighter wife era.
We lived in that era. I performed it very well. Dressed the part, did everything, and now we're entering into our like Western era, where once he retired, I just started acquiring animals like crazy, chickens, horses, dog, whatever I could get my hands on. Now, and then Benson rodeos started happening, and so I just need a phase and a theme to know what to do, and then I'll dress accordingly. So if I were going to a drag thing, I'd need to know, well, what's my theme? How am I on brand? And then that's what I'll do.
I feel like everybody was wearing like jean shorts and then just a basic tee of whatever they were representing.
Yeah, most people were wearing
Not
the clothes
a dress.
that they didn't
Not
care
what?
about getting
Not a
oil
dress.
and
Yeah.
I was the only one in a
Whatever else.
dress,
Yeah.
and I looked like a
do
fool.
I need like a NASCAR T-shirt? Like, is that a thing? And then I could somehow cut it and make it cute and wear it
but
with
it couldn't
Daisy
be
Dukes.
NASCAR though because it was drag, and so then that's
who's-
like
who's a
competing,
famous
right?
drag-
I don't know, so I didn't know.
Yeah, I'd have to
Nobody
further
knows.
research
Right.
it, but I'm not a car person.
But yeah, it sounds like your whole life is a theme.
I do like to live on theme, yes.
Halloween,
Yes.
eras.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I can get down with this.
and now that will become my life.
Stop
You're
it.
But yeah, thanks for having us, guys.
Yes,
This was
thank you for
fun.
coming out.
Yeah. It was great.
For anybody looking to follow them on social media, we'll put links in the description and comments and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you guys for coming out.
Thanks for having
Had a
us.
blast.
Yeah,
thank
we'll
you
do it
guys.
again sometime.
Now I'm worried about
Thank
the kind of
you.
clothes that are going to wind up in my closet.
Oh hush. I am going to buy you something pink, though.
Okay.
I'll wrap it and put it underneath the Christmas tree and say it's from Charlotte.
Say thanks.
Yeah, anytime.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.